ever bored of playing Lawnmower Ash and just winning? Look at my Ash go, bro. Holy! She's lawnmowering your board. I have a better comp for you that might get you a top 4. So I think everyone, and by everyone I mean me, thought Warwick was a shit unit, and without Vampiric Scepter, you can't really play him. But I think you can play him like this. Like, I've been playing it, I've been top 4ing, I've been asking other people, like this paid chatter, who I paid to say this.
Holy shit, dude, fucking Warwick Reroll is so broken. I have never seen anything this stupid in this fucking game. Okay, there we go.
And if you don't trust him, a guy who's never played TFT before, well, you can trust me. This comp is actually pretty strong. As long as you get it going early. You want Warwick 2, obviously by stage 2-1 really, because you're going to want Warwick to stack as quickly as possible. If he's not 2-star by 2-1, you kind of don't really want to play this unless you've got like perfect items. Then you can sort of just play it, but try for a top 4. But the idea is you want Warwick 3 as quick as possible. If you don't get Warwick 3 within, I'd say by 3-2, if you don't hit him on that roll down, then you're kind of fucked. And I'll go into what to play after if you don't hit Warwick, because you can transition this into a lot of other comps, which I think is good. So first of all, you'll see there's 3 Warwicks here, right? And the best case scenario is you get the Vampiric Scepter. It's his best item. This is what people were playing. Like, this is the only situation where people will play it, like a few patches. But this patch, you can kind of play it with this build, like Gwinsu's Titans and BT. And you might be wondering, what's this one? The third one. The third option is QSS over Titans, and you'll probably want to go this if there's a lot of CC on the enemy. Like, people are building like CC units, like, I don't know, you're being contested for Tom Kench, who is a really good CC unit, Gallios, things like that. Like, if there's a lot of CC on the enemy team, you're probably not going to get much value out of Titans. Well, you'll still get value, but just not as much as QSS. You just kind of want to slam whichever one you've got. In most games, you won't have Vampiric Scepter, so you'll probably be running the Titans or the QSS version. This comp is very item reliant. You're definitely going to want BT and you're definitely going to want Gwinsu's. So it just sort of depends on the third item. QSS is really good, attack speed and CC immunity, obviously. That's the main reason you'd build it. And then you've got Titans, which is also just very good. If you can get away with not having CC immunity, this is what you'll build preferably. And then the rest is basically just 6 Vanguard. If you're seeing a lot of copies of a unit, let's say like Gallio, then you can go Gallio 3. Mordekaiser is a slept on unit at the moment, I think. He actually does a lot of damage. He's like a brute, like a drain tank, I guess. I mean, he's a very good tank, obviously. They buffed his shielding, but if you give him AP items, he seems to do a reasonable amount of damage. So if you're seeing a lot of copies of Mordekaiser, you can 3-star him. Realistically, you're going to be stuck on Mord 2 though. This Evan Shroud as well is another item that you're probably going to want, because obviously Warwick does AD damage and you don't really want to put it on him, so you're going to want to put it on one of your other Vanguards, either Mordekaiser or Tom Kench really, unless you have maybe like a Rumble 3, then you'll put it on him. Okay, so let's assume that you have your Warwick 3, you've got good items on him. Well, what are you putting in next, right? And this becomes a bit more what you hit, right? So the standard way to play this, which I think is actually not the best way, is Twitch and Olaf, because that gives you Frost and Hunter, and then you can play Olaf as a secondary carry, and Twitch gives Sunder, so you know that's also good for Warwick and Olaf. So it's not the worst, but I don't think this is the best way to cap out this board, because you don't really want another melee carry, and you have a lot of traits that are just not activated, and you're then also reliant on hitting Olaf, and Frost doesn't really do much for Warwick, so it seems kind of pointless. But this is a decent way to play it. If this is what you hit, this is what you play. 6 Vanguard, 3 Frost, 2 Hunter, and it's not terrible. The way I think you cap out this board is with Ezreal, and if you see a lot of copies, you can go Ezreal 3. Ezreal benefits from Blaster, from Rumble, and also he gives +1 Portal from Gallio. You obviously won't hit 3 Portal with just Ezreal, but This is why I think Nora is good, because not only does she activate Portal, she gives you Yuumi. And I think Yuumi on Warwick is probably the best way to play this. And then if you want to go 9, you can put in Nami, you can put in other units, but Nami's good for CC and she gives Mage. But I think the Yuumi is so beneficial for Warwick that I think that this is the way you cap out this board. The other way that people seem to be doing it is Ezreal 3-star with 4 blasters and playing less Vanguard normally, but I think that's not worth, since like there's a huge difference between 4 and 6 that I think that it's so much more worth playing 6 Vanguard over like dropping, let's say like you drop Blitz and Galio. I don't think it's worth, especially when you're playing Warwick reroll. Maybe if you're playing like Blaster Ezreal and you're going for Ezreal 3 and you have Maud as your main tank, or Tarm 2, but I don't think Tarm 2 is a great main tank. Anyway, I'm rambling hard. I think the Nora gives Portal and the Yuumi is really good. Like that's the way I think the way you cap this board. So the best augment for this comp is hands down Shields Up. If you get this, just instantly pick it. There's no real option where you don't pick this, especially like you're running 6 Vanguard. This is the Vanguard augment. You just pick this instantly. But there are a lot of other options that are really good with this comp as well. So Epitaph is like really good for this comp, I think, especially considering Warwick is probably going to be your last unit standing. And the stacking attack speed is really good for him. Keepers also pretty good for this comp. You know, the Vanguards with the shield, like pretty good. Grab bag is also pretty good. Pumping up, raining gold, you know, just to get, like, if this is a decent, or like an econ augment, 4-2-1, so you can guarantee basically you'll get the Warwicks. You have my bow is good if you need a bow to make an item, especially on 2-1, because you want him to be as strong as, you want Warwick to be as strong as he can be on 2-1 to start stacking like immediately. Unleash the Beast I think is also decent. You'd probably replace QSS or Titans for this, and I think Unleash the Beast is probably fine to play with this. Vanguard Crest is a bit iffy. I think you do take this if you see it, but if there's better options, it's fine to swap out the Blitzcrank and just play another unit that's better as a Vanguard. You have my sword, yep, same reason as you have my bow. It's just you want, if you can make BT on him, and he wants the AD, so it's just to get him online quicker so he starts stacking. Ascension is good with this. The overall trend you're going to see is you can play a lot with this. Take the Radiant upgrades. Pandora's items is so good with this comp because you rely on specific items, so Pandora's is really good, especially Pandora's 3 if you can get it, because you get the Radiant and you can make like Radiant either Gwynsu's or BT I think are the best Radiant items for him. Support Golem's also good, and if you're wind streaking, Golden Egg is also good. Like there's so many good augments with this, but you basically just want to play econ or combat augments with this because you're playing for tempo. Let's say you're on 8 and you don't hit Nora, you can also like temporarily just play any portal unit really. Like Rise is probably fine here. It's just for extra damage until you get Nora and you can put him on the Warwick, but it's just worth to activate portal. And I specifically think this because, well, Galio will get a shield, obviously that's good, but that's not the main reason you're playing it. The main reason you're playing it is so the things from the portals actually impact your fights. Like the Jarvan flag, the attack speed is really good for Warwick, the heals. There's so many things you want from the portal that it's just worth enabling it, in my opinion, over Frost, because Frost doesn't really do too much. It just gives flat stats to the soldier. It's like 3 Frost is not worth getting online, in my opinion. Especially because Olaf I don't think is the best secondary carry, and Twitch is just a dogshit unit, especially like he is literally worth like 1 Evan Shroud. Okay, let's say you completely miss on Warwick. This is what I think you transition to. It's 4 Blaster, or I guess it's 5 now, but you'd drop one of these depending on which one you get. So let's say you miss Sway, like you'd remove, or if you miss Ezreal, you'll miss Sway. But you'd probably play something along the lines of this and swap out whatever Blaster's like the least needed for Smolder, and you just play around 4 Vanguard, 4 Blaster. Realistically, you'd want Ezreal 3. If you can't get Ezreal 3 again and you miss, you'd play Smolder. and you just try and play for position, realistically, if you've missed on Warwick, you're probably bot 4ing, but it depends on how bad the bot 4 is, because like Warwick is really good at getting top 4s if you hit, and specifically winning out the game for some reason. This comp has a really high win rate. But yeah, if you completely miss, you probably just play 4 Vanguard, 4 Blaster and try for like a 5th, and maybe you can scam out a 4th. So you'll see the play rate on this is actually giga fucking low for some reason. 0.06 is really low play rate. The average placement is really good, and the win rate is like really high. Like for this, a 1-cost reroll comp, like these stats are insane. I guess it gets worse if you don't have Vampiric, but you can still definitely fucking like top 4 with this. I guess the only way for you to really know will be to test it in your own games. I just suggest you give it a try. Keep an open mind to it. If you get a lot of Warwicks before 2-1, I'd just say go give it a try. That's what it's what I'm spamming right now. I'm forcing it every game, and it seems to be working. So yeah.